Today was the last day at my placement. Today was the last day at clinical supervision, group supervision at my counselling placement. I started my therapy training, I started my therapy training September 2021, but I started my placement practice about a year ago, like May 2023. And the service that I'm with, like, they recently went through a transitional period of changing ownership, and there's just a few things that I personally didn't want to work with my clients. This service, I first wanted to do my placement there because of the demographic, working with drug and alcohol use clients, misuse clients. And oh my God, these clients have changed my life. You know, I've never worked in like a mental health setting or like, I don't know what even kind of environment it is. I've never really worked in that kind of setting before. And yeah, it opened my eyes to about 1,000 things that's wrong with like the well-being, the care for staff. And every time I'm talking to people about all of the wrongdoings, the things that aren't quite right with policies and things that aren't compliant to XYZ, people are just kind of like, I know, it's like, that's just what it is. And I'm like, raw, like, it is just what it is. Like, it's just how things function, it's how things move. But is there no scope for change? And then when I ask about scope for change, it's like, well, that takes a long time. It's like, well, let's start now then, because regardless, it's going to take a long time. So, like, what are we waiting for? Anyways, leaving this placement has just ignited a lot in me. My biggest, the saddest thing I feel is like the loss of the client demographic and just the clients. Like, when I say these clients have changed my life, I feel like I'm letting them down. I feel like do I feel like I'm letting them down? I feel like the service is letting them down. And society is letting them down. I just feel like I don't really know how to articulate what I want to say. That's how I feel. I feel sad. I feel sad that I'm leaving there. Though, do I? I don't know. Because the sadness only comes from like the connections to people, but I don't know, I truly believe that the connections I have, I believe that they'll come into my realms again and we'll meet again and all of that. The place where I was working, where I was doing my placement, I kind of just completely felt unseen and unheard. And like just a volunteer, just a trainee therapist. And it really got me in my head about like who I am, what I represent, what I'm doing. But like when I sit and think about it, and I sit and think about my client work, and I sit and think about the way my clients have impacted me, and then I think, damn, like I can imagine like the way I may have impacted them. To my clients, I'm their therapist, and that's really lovely. Like, that's all the validation I need to shrink the imposter syndrome. I feel so seen and heard by my clients. It's such a beautiful process to feel seen and heard by just doing your job, doing my job with a person, a vulnerable person, with the intentions of ensuring they feel heard and seen in a world and a society that don't see them, doesn't treat them the same, doesn't hear them, respect them, nurture them, care for them, want them to get better. I feel like it's got to a point now where we need to start seriously making some changes. The tallest person, the highest person up on the ladder needs to be sat down and trained, trauma-informed, made holistically aware, I don't even know, therapeutically aware of just to be therapeutically aware. I don't know, man. Like, there's staff members at these services, and this is obviously my first experience of working in any service in that kind of realms, and this is an addiction service. This is my first time just, like, seeing people do their jobs, but, like, from their side, I guess. And, like, I'm just, like, baffled by the lack of support they have. Like, they have none. And most people, like, you know, vulnerable themselves. Like, everyone kind of is in a sense. And especially with that demographic, a lot of people working with the demographic have experiences, specific, like, traumas, vicarious traumas. And to know, you know, they're working so closely with clients and, like, not receiving any kind of supervision or support for their well-being or processing of things is just, like, beyond understandable for me. I'm just like, what? You don't get supervision? Are you crazy? Like a space where you can speak to someone about all the issues of clients and what it's bringing for you and how you feel. You don't have that, but you work with clients closely one-on-one for however many hours a day. Like, you know, there's no reason why, like staff are stressed, or they hit certain points, or we can't cope with outside life because work's so stressful. Like, there's so many small, big points. And even just being, like, aware of, like, neurodiversity and compliant with people's needs and disabilities, and I don't know, it's just all a big jump, like a huge mess actually. I'm in a space now where, like, I'm applying for placements and jobs, seeing what's out there and that, and it's just interesting because I haven't been applying for jobs like the way I am at the moment for years. So I've been a mum, I've been a student, and now I'm on it. And what a lot of the descriptions say or mention, you know, in the bit when they're like, we're inclusive, we're here for diversity and equality. They've got, like, a new, like, disability scheme section and thing. Like, the government have a disability scheme, which I guess companies and organisations work in partnership with, or are trained by, or accredited with. I don't even know. But all I know is that I don't want to say BS, yeah, but, like, you can give someone a policy, you can set a rule in a policy, yeah, doesn't mean it's going to be followed through. Or taken seriously, or whatever. And yeah, just my experiences combined with, like, the facts and, like, some more political research. I'm just like, hun, it's evidently a fat mess. Like, why don't we just break it down and figure things out? I just honestly believe that taking a more therapeutic approach, being therapeutically informed, trauma-informed, neurodiversity-informed, like, just be damn aware of stuff, man, and treat your staff accordingly, you know? And everyone will just be in a much happier space. What's going to change, when's it going to change, and how you're going to go about it, because we need to crack on. I applied for this job recently, and it was like, they basically, like, hiring, like, a task force to go in and train CEOs on like being trauma informed and, like, the culture of care. It was, like, a whole program, like, created by, I want to say it was an NHS thing, and funded. Like, that is a great start, you know, but, like, come on, let's crack on. And I really, like, get jarred when things come down to, like, funding or money. Like, we can't do this because of money, we can't do that because we've got a budget. Like, respectfully, I'm going to say respectfully, there's more money lying around somewhere, hun. I know there is. I don't know, there's a lot of blurred lines, and I'm not really okay with how some places are taking advantage of staff, taking advantage of clients, and not even kind of realising at all, actually, that they're doing that, thinking they're doing the best thing and the right thing, and actually, factually, according to research studies... Okay, no, honestly though, if we all know that well-being is important, why is it not implemented into the workplace in a therapeutic way? If we all actively know that. Don't know, weird, isn't it, really? Probably to do with money. Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm like, what do you mean there's no money? Like, take it out of elsewhere and inject it in the right place. Duh. Or, like, there's so many rich people out there, like, come on, someone's got to have a heart of gold to commission this gorgeous attempt. Who knows? You know? I just really hope something changes soon, because there's a lot of people in positions that they don't want to be in, but have to be because it pays the bills. Or because of the clients that are keeping them there. I don't think clients could have kept me there. The realms were so bad. It was just messing with me, hurting my neurodiverse head. Not the best experience. I've had many negative work experiences in relation to a few things, but mostly my mental health. And this one kind of doesn't differ. It's really sad actually that a lot of companies believe they're working to people's needs, and they're just fully not, especially with like disabilities and neurodiversity and I don't know, I'm kind of like over non-informed people making rules.